now, in terms of people that you're seeing in currently creating the podcasts, are we seeing a lot more newer, younger broadcast students try to get into the podcast game, or are we seeing a bit more of the former broadcasters who have moved on from their radio station for whatever reason enter into the podcast realm? What are we seeing more of?
I think we're going to see both. I see a lot more young people right now, but I think we're going to see Rhett Warner, Dean Malberg, and probably Ryan Pinder crop up with a independent project here pretty soon. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, and as more of these talents kind of get either cut or leave existing traditional broadcasting, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them crop up with their own publications or their own sort of podcast networks. You've sort of seen that with Steve Dangle's podcast network, where he's teamed up with Adam Wilde and Chris Johnson, and they've sort of built this new wave of media company, which is really fascinating. If people haven't looked into what they're doing, they should, who have any interest in this area. And they're another group that has this massive Discord community, which is pretty fascinating to see. So I'm really watching them to see if there's kind of a new, they're paving a new path or not.
Steve Dangle, it's fascinating to watch what happened with Steve Dangle, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a compliment. I mean, this is a guy that he acted completely like a fan, like he really did. He and raged his way through, and I think it caught. I don't think this is a guy. He caught Leaf fans, but I also think he caught a lot of outside of Leaf fans just because of the way he talked so honestly about hockey. Like that was, you talk about a guy that found some value in what he did. It may have looked a little shticky maybe to some on the outside, but he really has delved in so well, and it's I think what he's done is I agree with you. I think it's really fascinating to watch what he's done in the community, and the work that he's done has been quite fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, the one half of Steve Dangle stuff is him just taking YouTube and podcasting and making a brand out of it over time. But the other half, which you don't see as much, is what he's done in the background to leverage that going forward. And you'd probably have to talk to him to discuss how he made the brand through YouTube initially, but then how he's opened so many doors with that brand over time, showing up on Sportsnet and now the podcast network. And like, that's the more interesting journey from my perspective than even the first half, than him just getting big on YouTube.